The Kyosho Ultima, what an awesome looking buggy. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to build the Kyosho Ultima body. As you can see there, I've already done it. It looks absolutely fantastic. So today's video, I'm just going to give you some of my step-by-step guide and advice as to how I got to this stage, and a few little tips that I have used for the first time myself actually to get the decals on nice and straight, only because the Kyosho decals are pre-cut. I'm used to the Tamiya decals where you cut it out and use the backing as a method of sort of aligning and then smoothing it out and peeling that backing back. But obviously, because the Kyosho decals are pre-cut, personally I don't like pre-cut decals, but I do understand why some people do like them. You've just got to use some different techniques to apply them, and I did use that today on the wing, and also then I did use it on the front decal as well. The rest of them you could probably get by just peeling it off and lining it up right. So what have we got here? In the previous video when we did the chassis build, if you didn't catch that one, I posted that yesterday. I'll put a link above, so go check out the chassis build. It absolutely goes together beautifully. So today's video, we're just going to take a quick look at the body. As you can see, I did go box art with that white paint. I was thinking of going a nice silver or gunmetal colour. Two reasons why I didn't. Wasn't overly sure how the paint would stick to the nylon white wing, whether that would flake off, and obviously when running it, it would chip off, obviously. And also Tamiya paints at hobby stores at the moment are absolutely out of stock, and basically I just had to use some colours that I had at home. I luckily did buy a few cans of PS1 white not long ago when they were in stock, so I'm lucky enough to even have that. So let's flick over to some video footage. I did start off with the driver first after I sprayed the whole car in PS1 underneath. I did paint the driver figure from the top, so I'll just talk to you about that, and yeah, we'll flick over to a bit of a montage and I'll talk about how I came up with the Ultima and how I got it looking the way it is. So let me know what you do think. Chuck those comments down below. It's absolutely awesome to interact with people, and make sure you smash that subscribe button to catch some more videos. So first up, we had to cut the body out and get the decals out, lay it all out. You had to build the top tubular frame as well with that nice sort of metal alloy piece there. That all went together quite easily. Didn't have any problems there. You do have to drill some holes in the body, so just be mindful. I think it was a 5mm drill piece that I had to use for that. All sort of no problems whatsoever. So yeah, so that was pretty straightforward. Now on to the driver figure. As you can see there, I did paint it from the top. Now don't be worried about, you know, going over the edges of the driver. Obviously, as you can see here, we do have that sort of carbon fiber black sticker there, so by all means rough it in first. Don't worry about it, because some stickers do go around to hide those edges. So once we got that sort of colour down, as you can see, I did go with the orange driver, a yellow helmet and the blue gloves. Now that sort of colour combination matches the decals on the car, so I let that dry for a little bit while I built the sort of tubular frame section of the chassis. Then I looked over the decals, because there's a lot of decals on the decal sheet that aren't sort of on the box art. So I did notice that with the Tomahawk, when I built that, there was a lot of decals that I didn't even use. So Kyosho really gives you free rein to go a little bit custom on their bodies. So once the paint dried, we then started to put some of the decals around the driver, and as you can see, it does start to look a bit prettier and a little bit nicer once you do add those decals. I did put a little bit of detail in and around on the driver just to make it look a little bit more realistic before adding the rest of the decals. So once we got the driver figure out of the way, I started to apply some of the external decals on the car. As you can see, it's pretty basic. It all goes together quite nice. The color combinations work quite well with the white and the white wheels. I will do some tire lettering after we do take it for a run, because it's a bit pointless, because as soon as you start running these cars, the tire lettering does start to fade and come off. So we started to apply some more decals, as you can see. Now, I did try a new technique. I started with the wing just to give it a little bit of a go. As you can see, that soap and water technique. Basically just wet the back of the wing there, wet the underside of the decal with some dish soap. Didn't get too carried away with the mixture that I did. I just put a bit of this and a bit of that. As you can see, you can get it into position, you can manipulate it a little bit before then sort of squeegeeing out the water from underneath, and then it starts to stick. I did find I had to use a bit of a dryer just to heat it up and dry out any excess water, but it all went together quite nicely. So it was actually a pretty easy body to put together. Just spray it one colour, you do the driver figure, any colours that you want, add a few decals, and I think realistically on the car there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 7 decals that make up the majority of the car. So not a lot of decals, but they are quite tricky to put on, especially this one here. You do need to sort of heat it up and mould it in and around the front of the car there. So I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I did sort of add a little extra decal on the back of the wing there, just so it gives it something to look at from the back. But all in all, quite nice. So some of the things that I don't really like about this car. Now, I didn't really discover this until I sort of all put it together and I thought, oh, how do I take the body off? Now, it sort of pivots and whatnot under the wing, so you have to sort of put it in under the wing to take it off. I'm not a huge fan of the way that these mount here. I do know on some of the Tamiya kits that I have that these little sort of side holes here do start to break and tear through after a while. But then again, this car is sort of designed that you can just put your battery packs in and out, connect the battery and turn it on and off. So there isn't a lot of need to really be taking the body on and off once you have it set up with your electronics. So now that we've got it built, obviously the next stage is to get it out and doing some running footage. Now the weather's been a little bit on and off today, a fair bit of rain, hot conditions, so I was lucky enough to get the painting done. So we'll let the paint dry, let it dry overnight. Hopefully we'll get it out for a run video very, very soon. I think it's going to be an awesome car to run. It definitely looks awesome, so you let me know what you think. If anyone does have an Ultima, if there's any tips and tricks to sort of setting it up, put that down in the comments below. But yeah, that's today's video. It was pretty much just to show you the finished product. And yeah, let you know that I am absolutely stoked with the kit. Went together quite nicely. The body went together quite nicely as well. Very, very easy and definitely a good kit to start off with if you are going to go down that Kyosho avenue and add some Kyosho kits to your collection. Obviously being two-wheel drive, a little bit less assembly, and this beautiful lower sort of sub chassis here, all sort of prefabbed, ready to go. So you're pretty much attaching sort of like a front suspension part and a rear gearbox. Goes together quite easily. So if you want to see some more Kyosho on the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see some more Kyosho. I've got a whole heap of Kyosho kits that I've purchased. We've got the Ultima here, so that'll come up at some stage on the channel. But until then, click some of the videos appearing around me. Make sure you head over to my Facebook and Instagram page. You can follow me there. I do put some other content up. So until next time, thanks for watching.